My beloved child, stop and hear my voice now. This moment is not by chance. I have drawn you here because there is something I must say to your weary heart. You have carried a quiet, ancient silence inside you. A hollow that swells in crowded rooms, a subtle ache that surfaces in shallow talk. A pull that makes you step back when others laugh and blend in. You have searched for fresh air while everyone else breathes easily in smoke. This has been painful, confusing, and you may have called it a fault. Hear me. It is not a fault. It is a calling. From the earliest days of your life, something held you in reserve. Life itself keeping you for a purpose, without a name. While many chased acceptance, you pursued meaning. While others ran toward numbers and noise, you withdrew to listen. Those seasons of silence were not abandonment, they were my preparation. I kept your spirit from what would have dulled it, so that when the appointed hour came, your soul would recognize its assignment. The signs you carry, some written plainly in the body, some written invisibly into the depth of your sensitivity, are markers of a life set apart. They tell heaven and earth, this one is on assignment. And now, beloved, I call you to respond. If these words stir something long buried inside you, mark this moment. Write the number 111 in the comments right now. It is not just a number. It is the symbol of divine alignment and the beginning of your mission. By writing it, you confirm not only to yourself, but to heaven itself. I am ready to remember who I am. And if you have not yet subscribed, do so now. For here, every word is a map I have left for those who carry hidden marks and missions few dare to accept. By subscribing, you are not just following messages. You are choosing to walk with others I have set apart for something greater. Welcome, chosen one. Your journey begins here. Listen to me now, beloved, for I will speak plainly about signs placed upon you before your first breath. There are marks I have written into the very blueprint of your being, some visible to the eye, others inscribed deep within the chambers of your soul. Do not shrink from this language. Hear it as I speak. The letter M upon the palm, the crescent hidden within the folds of skin. These are not mere curiosities or random lines. They are seals. They are signatures I have set upon certain lives to declare assignment and authority. Alongside these outward tokens, there are subtler engravings, patterns of thought, a sensitivity that feels like an ache, an inner acuity that sees what others miss. Together, the visible and the invisible compose a sacred dossier written by me, kept through generations and passed down as a lineage of purpose. Understand this truth. These marks are not accidents of biology or fate. They are spiritual codes, ancient and intentional, placed as a covenant between heaven and the one who bears them. When the world looks, it sees a line on a hand or a crescent of skin. When heaven looks, it reads a mission. The M speaks of mastery, not mastery of self alone, but mastery of a calling. It speaks of mission, a task entrusted to you that will require steadiness, discipline, and sacrifice. It speaks of a mantle, an honor that comes with responsibility, not privilege, and that settles upon your shoulders to be carried with humility. The crescent moon marks you to move by cycles, to be born into seasons, to wait through dark periods, to rise in appointed times. Your life will not follow the rush of the world. It will unfold in sacred phases, each season unlocking a deeper layer of what I have ordained for you. You must also know the weight that accompanies these seals. To be marked is to be watched, not only by the people who cross your path, but by the unseen realms that surround you. Angels take note, spiritual watchers observe, and because the enemy discerns what I appoint, he watches as well. This attention makes your path heavy at times. You have felt that heaviness as early as memory, a sense that your footsteps were measured differently, an awareness among family and friends that you would not walk their same road. This was not pride in you. It was recognition of truth. I hid you, beloved, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Before the world sees you fully, heaven keeps you safe, closing doors that would have exposed or diluted what I have placed inside you. I place boundaries around the marked because the assignment is too fragile to be handled prematurely. Do not mistake my concealment for abandonment. In the language of heaven, hiddenness is preservation. There are people and opportunities that would have seemed like blessing, but would have stolen years from your mission. There are voices that would have shaped you into someone other than who I intended. So I limit access. I close certain doors, not to deny good, but to guard the sanctity of what is to come. This is an act of divine strategy. The enemy notices the signs, and because he covets what I establish, he seeks to intercept what I send. Therefore, I surround you with invisible protection, seasons of solitude, closed paths, delays that feel inexplicable. These are my hands at work, placing you in training, not exile, in refuge, not rejection. Hear now what I require of you when you come to know these marks: to reframe destiny as duty, not as entitlement. Many mistake being chosen for ease, for favor without cost. I tell you plainly, destiny is a call to service. It is a heavy and holy stewardship. The letters and the crescents are not crowns to be worn for acclaim. They are maps to be read and followed. When you learn to read your mark, the confusion about separation and delay begins to make sense. Every seeming setback, the friend who left, the opportunity that vanished, the door that shut without reason, was a contour on the map designed to keep you on course. These disruptions are not punishments, they are course corrections. If you will learn to read the lines I have placed in you, you will see that I have been diverting you away from what would have diluted your calling and toward the precise terrain required for its fulfillment. Let me speak to the burden you have carried in lonely rooms and long nights. You have often felt different, and because of that difference, isolated. The world calls it awkwardness, shyness, or worse, arrogance. I call it separation by design. That separation sharpens you. It trains your senses to detect deception, to recognize truth where others are content with surface joy. Your sensitivity, the trait so often scorned, is not fragility, it is armor. It is a finely tuned instrument I have embedded in you, so that you might feel the faintest tremor beneath speech. Know when a presence brings poison, or sense when a space will drain rather than nourish. Because you were formed to carry a weight that others cannot bear, I gave you a warning system. Unease in crowds, sudden exhaustion in rooms heavy with unspoken sorrow, an unaccountable urge to withdraw from an encounter that on the surface seemed harmless. Take these as divine alarms. Respect them, protect your spirit. There will be seasons, the seasons I call deserts, where the noise falls away and you stand, it seems, with nothing but sky above you and sand beneath your feet. To the uninitiated, these seasons look like loss. To heaven, they are the proving ground. In the desert, I sharpen your discernment. temper your obedience, and root your identity in me alone. It is here that the subtle gifts I have placed in you begin to stir. Clarity replaces confusion. The voice that once whispered in fragments becomes the sound you can follow. I am not absent in the desert. I am nearer than you imagine. Angels walk with you. My hand guides each step. The apparent solitude is in truth a concentrated presence of the divine, stripping away the trappings and attachments that would have hindered your carrying of a mantle that will touch many lives. And so, beloved, when you read your mark and begin to understand the pattern of your days, the separations, the delays, the inexplicable losses, do not despair. This is the grammar of calling. It will demand sacrifice. It will ask you to move lightly, to choose discernment over popularity, to decline what glittered and to wait for what is golden. But it will also yield a clarity that steadies your soul. You will no longer chase every open door. You will not be swayed by each flattering voice. You will move only when the Spirit instructs. In time, the narrowness you mourn will reveal itself as a path arranged specifically for your feet. Invisible escorts will walk with you. The unseen realm will release aid at the appointed hour. Your life will begin to unfold in cycles of darkness and harvest, according to the rhythm stamped upon you. Remember this above all. To be marked is to be entrusted. It is neither a ticket to comfort nor an excuse for pride. It is a commission to be fulfilled with humility and courage. When you learn to read the line upon your palm and the crescent within your flesh, and when you honor the inner signature written in the way you feel and think, you will start to perceive the logic behind every closed gate and wandering road. Those interruptions were my instruments of preservation, not arbitrary delays. Yield to the refinement. Keep your soul guarded and walk in the dignity of one who knows that being chosen means being prepared. Thoroughly, painfully, beautifully, for the work only you can do, you. Child, the road I have placed before you is narrow, and it will never be crowded. Few will walk it, for few have the strength or the willingness to endure its demands. This path winds through territories where many fear to tread, and its silence will often weigh heavier than the noise of the multitudes. Yet this narrowness is not punishment. It is design. It is the only road capable of carrying the weight of your mission without breaking it beneath the clutter and confusion of too many voices. You were never meant to march with the crowds through gates wide and easy. You were fashioned to pass through gates so narrow that only what I have entrusted to you can fit. This is why companionship on this path will not always be constant. Those who begin the journey with you may not be able to stay. The road of the chosen is steep and exacting, and many who once promised loyalty will find it too difficult to continue. Friendships may fade without explanation. Opportunities that seem secure may vanish overnight. People you thought would remain pillars in your life may step away in silence. And while the sting of these departures may tempt you to call them abandonment, I tell you the truth. They are not abandonment, but alignment. They are not rejection, but redirection. I remove what will dilute the clarity of your purpose, because the mission you carry cannot afford to be compromised by what is unworthy of it. Every closed door, every sudden loss, every inexplicable turn you face is part of a strategy larger than you can see. I know the weight of the mantle upon you, and I will not allow it to be crushed beneath attachments that would slow or distort its unfolding. What feels like subtraction is preservation. What feels like emptying is preparation. I strip away what does not belong, not to leave you bare, but to leave you light enough to walk where I lead you. for the chosen cannot carry excess. They must travel with only what heaven has placed in their hands. Yes, this road will at times feel lonely. You will look around and see others moving in groups while you press forward alone. They will laugh in their companionship while you carry the silence of solitude. But do not envy their togetherness, for their destination is not yours. The crowd moves toward comfort. The chosen move toward purpose. And purpose does not flow through crowded gates. Purpose requires stillness, separation, and clarity. When you walk alone, you are not truly alone. Invisible forces walk with you. Angels guard your steps. The Spirit whispers directions meant only for your ears. Solitude becomes sacred escort. Isolation becomes divine fellowship. In the quiet of this narrow road, you will hear me with a clarity that the multitudes cannot imagine. My voice is not found in the thunder of the crowd, but in the whisper carried on the wind of stillness. It is here in silence that your discernment sharpens. It is here that the gifts buried deep within you awaken. It is here that your spirit learns to stand without leaning on the approval or affirmation of others. This is why I call you away from the noise. For in the quiet, I can speak to you directly. And in the solitude, I can form in you a strength that will not be swayed. The narrow road is not a road of ease. It is a road of refinement. It is not filled with companionship, but it is saturated with holiness. The gates of the many are wide and loud, but they do not lead to destiny. The gates of the few are narrow and silent, but they lead to life. From the moment I marked you, I began separating you, not to punish you, but to preserve you. The crowd cannot carry what you carry. Their pace is too hurried, their vision too clouded, their desires too scattered. To walk with them would mean compromise, and compromise would corrode the very mission you have been given. There will be nights when you long for company, when silence presses upon your chest heavier than any noise could. There will be mornings when you wake wishing you could walk in step with others, just to feel the relief of belonging. But understand this, the ache you feel is evidence that you are walking where few are called. And in those moments of longing, remember that solitude is not emptiness, it is presence. The unseen realm surrounds you more closely on this narrow road than in any crowded street. Angels flank your path. My spirit steadies your soul. What you call isolation is in truth protection. This narrowness is mercy. By keeping the road constricted, I keep you from wandering. By allowing loneliness, I teach you to hear. By stripping away voices, I make room for clarity. The mission requires it. You cannot step into what I have prepared if you are weighed down by what was never yours to carry. Learn to travel light. Release what I have taken from you and carry only what I have placed in your hands. This is the philosophy of the chosen: to move with intention, to walk unburdened, to preserve the sanctity of the assignment. And so, when you look back upon your journey and see the friendships that dissolved, the opportunities that faded, the doors that closed before you could walk through, do not grieve as if you were abandoned. These were divine alignments. They were the hand of heaven removing what would have blurred your sight or diluted your calling. I protect what I have invested in you, even when you do not understand my methods. Trust that what I withhold is as holy as what I provide. If this word stirs something in you, if you recognize your life in these truths, then mark this moment as sacred. Do not let it pass without response. Write the number 111 in the comments now. This is not a casual act. It is a declaration that you choose purpose over comfort. that you choose the narrow road, though it costs you companionship and ease. By writing it, you align yourself with the strategy of heaven and confirm before earth and spirit alike. I will walk the path set before me, no matter how narrow, no matter how lonely, for I know I am never truly alone. Beloved, the narrow road has always been my way of guiding those I have marked. It strips you of distraction. It purifies your devotion. It anchors your soul in a strength that cannot be shaken. Walk it with courage. Embrace it with faith. And when you feel its silence pressing in, know that in the stillness you hear me clearest. I am with you in every step, and my presence is the companion that will never leave you. From the beginning, you have felt the ache of not belonging. You tried to laugh when others laughed, to follow when others led, to step into spaces that promised warmth and familiarity. You gave yourself to the rhythm of the crowd, hoping that in their noise you would find your home. Yet no matter how you tried, there was always a quiet echo within you, whispering with certainty, "This is not where you fit." That whisper never left you. It spoke in moments of celebration, in gatherings that should have brought comfort, in circles where others seemed content. Even as you smiled, something deeper inside you knew that your place was elsewhere, that your spirit could never truly merge with the ordinary. This sense of distance was not born from your will. It was not a decision you crafted or a preference you chose. It was instinct, woven into the fabric of your being before you took your first breath. You found yourself observing rather than blending, standing at the edges while others rushed to the center. You studied what unfolded around you, seeing the small fractures that others ignored, sensing the hollowness in laughter that did not rise from truth, detecting the weight in words that lacked sincerity. Your soul recoiled when the atmosphere was not genuine. Even when your body was present, your spirit was elsewhere, searching for meaning while others seemed satisfied with illusions. The pain of this separation has been sharp. You have sat in rooms filled with people and still felt solitude pressing against your chest like a heavy stone. You have walked among companions and yet carried the loneliness of one unseen and unknown. The world has called this shyness, aloofness, arrogance, or an inability to adapt. But I tell you, this is not a flaw to be corrected. This is not a wound to be healed. It is a mark to be honored. It is the separation I have built into you to protect the light you carry. You were not designed to be at ease in every space because not every space was created to hold your light. If you could blend easily into every environment, your purpose would lose its sharpness. If you could be comfortable in places filled with pretense and noise, your calling would be diluted. I have made you sensitive so that you will not mistake counterfeit for truth, so that you will not lose yourself in atmospheres that cannot sustain the assignment within you. What the world mocks as weakness is, in my design, a safeguard. What they see as fragility is, in my eyes, refinement. The ache of not belonging is not without purpose. It is the forge of discernment. It teaches you to recognize when the spirit of a place is misaligned with the spirit I have placed within you. It forces you to depend not on the approval of others, but on the voice that called you. It strips away your hunger for affirmation, so that your identity rests in me alone. This ache has never been random. It has been the compass pointing you toward the spaces where you truly belong. The environments crafted for your presence, the assignments waiting for your light. There are seasons when this ache feels unbearable, when you wish you could silence your sensitivity and walk without noticing so much. You have longed to feel at ease, to surrender the weight of awareness, to melt into the crowd and rest in their belonging. Yet the very sensitivity that makes belonging difficult is the key to recognizing truth when it appears. It is the shield that warns you of deception before it reaches your heart. It is the lens through which you see what others overlook. Without it, you would wander into dangers unfit for your calling. With it, you are preserved, guarded, and guided. Do not despise the loneliness. Do not curse the distance. For every time you felt apart, I was aligning you with what is set apart. Every time you withdrew, I was teaching you to listen. Every time you sensed the hollowness in what others embraced, I was showing you the difference between what is real and what is false. The ache is not evidence of rejection. It is the confirmation of your distinction. It is the evidence that your spirit vibrates on a frequency too high to be absorbed by the ordinary. Beloved, hear me. You are not meant to belong everywhere. You are not designed to fit into every room, every circle, every conversation. If you try to force yourself into those places, you will feel the draining weight of dissonance, because they are not worthy of you. The sooner you release the desire to belong where you were never meant to be, the sooner you will walk into the spaces crafted for your presence. You were not created to fill every role, to occupy every seat, to satisfy every expectation. You were created to walk with precision, to bring light into appointed places, to carry a mission that requires clarity. When you look back on your life, you will see the pattern. You tried to belong, and the ache pulled you back. You sought comfort, and the dissonance sent you searching. You entered circles, and your spirit would not rest. These were not failures. They were redirections. They were signs pointing you away from the counterfeit and toward the authentic. They were my hand pulling you out of the noise so that you would not lose your way. What others called arrogance was not pride. It was the evidence that you were seeing what they could not. What they mocked as detachment was actually discernment, a refusal to surrender your soul to atmospheres that did not resonate with your truth. Every time they misunderstood you, I understood you. Every time they misnamed your difference, I affirmed it. I was the one whispering in the depths of your spirit, you are not of here. You are in the world, but you are not of the world. Do not grieve over the times you felt unseen. Do not mourn the moments when your laughter felt forced and your presence felt hollow. Those experiences were not wasted. They trained your ear to hear the difference between genuine and false. They trained your heart to discern the weight of words. They anchored your identity in something deeper than the fleeting approval of men. And though the loneliness pierced you, it has carved out a depth within you that nothing shallow can ever fill. Now understand the higher purpose of that ache. It was never meant to leave you empty. It was meant to prepare you for fullness. It was not meant to isolate you forever, but to align you with the chosen path. The separation you carried as pain is in truth the preparation for your mission. You could not have walked with everyone, for your steps were destined to go where most would never travel. Your path required clarity, and clarity required distance. So honor the mark of not belonging. See it not as a curse, but as a seal. Welcome the ache as a teacher. Let it continue to guide you away from the counterfeit and toward the true. For in that ache is the evidence that I have placed my hand upon you. In that loneliness is the signal that you are being preserved for something greater. And in that distance is the space where my voice becomes your anchor. When you feel the ache rise again, when you step into rooms that cannot hold your spirit and sense once more that you do not belong, remember what I say to you now. You were never meant to. You were meant to be different, to walk apart, to carry a light that cannot be contained in ordinary spaces. Do not despise the ache. It is my reminder that you are chosen. Beloved child, the world has told you that your sensitivity is weakness, that to feel deeply is to be fragile, that to sense what others cannot means you are too delicate for this life. But I tell you, this is a lie born of misunderstanding. Sensitivity is not a flaw, it is armor. It is the shield I placed upon your spirit before you entered this world. It is the unseen protection that alerts you before danger has taken shape. The inner language through which heaven speaks to you. The quiet strength that guards the mission I have placed in your hands. Where others stumble blindly into snares, you are stopped by the unease that grips your heart. Where others are seduced by flattering words, you hear the dissonance beneath the tone. Where others miss the signs, your spirit reads them clearly. This is not weakness. It is divine defense. Sensitivity functions as your early warning system. It allows you to sense danger before it materializes, to discern truth in the spaces between words, to recognize deception cloaked in charm, to feel what is hidden long before it is spoken. You may walk into a room and immediately feel the heaviness in the air, an invisible weight pressing against your chest, telling you this atmosphere is not safe. You may listen to someone speak, and before they finish their sentence, already know what spirit drives their words. You may stand among strangers and suddenly feel the impulse to leave, unable to explain why, only to later learn that your spirit was protecting you from harm. These are not coincidences. These are signals from heaven, alarms designed to preserve your mission. Yet with this gift comes responsibility. If you do not guard your spirit, the same sensitivity that protects you can also weigh you down with what does not belong to you. You carry not only your own emotions, but can absorb the fragments of pain, anger, and confusion from those around you. The storms that rage in others can become your burden if you do not learn to shield yourself. This is why I call you often into solitude, not to isolate you without reason, but to cleanse and restore your frequency, to clear away what you have carried that was never yours to bear. Solitude is the sanctuary where your spirit is renewed, where the noise of others is stripped away, and where you are brought back into alignment with my voice. Your sensitivity is meant to teach you discernment. It is a filter through which every word, every environment, every influence must pass before you allow it into your inner world. This gift refuses to let you settle for what merely looks good if it is not truly aligned with the light you carry. It sharpens your ability to see beyond appearances and to recognize the difference between what glitters and what is genuine. Though at times you may wish you could turn it off, remember this: the same sensitivity that pulls you away from harmful paths is the very gift that guides you toward divine opportunities. It is not your enemy, it is your ally. It is your compass, your shield, your silent partner in fulfilling the assignment of your life. There is a reason why, after spending only a short time in certain places, you feel drained as though you have run a race you never agreed to run. Your body grows heavy, your mind becomes clouded, and an invisible weight presses against your chest, what others dismiss as simple tiredness. You experience as deep depletion, as though your very life force has been poured out. This is because your spirit, vibrating at a higher frequency, does not blend easily with atmospheres rooted in fear, deceit, or apathy. Instead, it resists them. And in that resistance, it absorbs their dissonance. You must learn to recognize this process and honor it. Do not dismiss it as weakness. See it for what it is. Discernment in action, your soul telling you this place is not aligned with who you are. Protect yourself. Crowds are rarely neutral. They are oceans of overlapping emotions, unspoken battles, and hidden burdens. Every person carries an atmosphere, and when you enter a space where dozens or hundreds of these collide, your sensitivity acts as a sponge, soaking in what is not yours. You feel the frustration of a stranger behind you, the silent grief of someone across the room, the bitterness masked by a forced smile. You do not simply notice these things. You feel them. And so your spirit, in wisdom, begins to shield itself. Sometimes it manifests as restlessness, sometimes as the urgent need to leave, sometimes as headaches, tension in your body, or exhaustion that no rest seems to cure. These are not signs of fragility. They are signals that your inner armor is working, telling you that the atmosphere is not in harmony with the mission you carry. Because of this, I will often remove you from places that look harmless but are harmful to your spirit. I will close doors before you step into them, even when you believe they lead to opportunity. I will pull you away from circles that drain you, even when you desire their company. I will separate you from environments where your light would be dimmed, even when you long to belong. This is not rejection, it is preservation. I protect what I have invested in you, and sensitivity is the tool through which I do so. Learn to see your sensitivity as sacred. Honor it as the language of your spirit, the means by which heaven communicates with you. Before someone speaks, you can sense the tremor beneath their tone. Before you enter a room, you can feel the weight of its atmosphere. Before deception has fully formed, you can already hear the alarm ringing within. Do not ignore these signals. Do not silence them in order to appease others. To be chosen is to be willing to follow the compass of your sensitivity, even when others do not understand. Yes, this gift will set you apart. It will make you feel things that others dismiss. It will cause you to withdraw when others press forward. It will compel you to walk away when others settle comfortably. But remember, you were not created to blend. You were created to be distinct. Your sensitivity is proof of that distinction. It will guide you away from the counterfeit and toward the authentic. It will save you from battles that are not yours to fight. It will lead you into opportunities that were ordained before for the foundation of the world. Protect this gift. Guard your inner life with diligence. Learn to release what does not belong to you in prayer, in solitude, in my presence. Let me cleanse the weight you have absorbed so that your spirit remains clear and untangled. Do not fear your sensitivity. Embrace it as the very armor that equips you for the mission ahead. And when the world misnames it as fragility, stand in the knowledge that it is strength. When they accuse you of being too much, know that you are exactly what I designed you to be, beloved. Your sensitivity is not a burden to overcome. It is a blessing to steward. It is not a weakness to hide. It is the secret strength that keeps you aligned with me. Honor it, protect it, trust it, and let it lead you faithfully. For it is the shield I placed upon your spirit, so that nothing unworthy could ever take what I have entrusted to you. Child, when you carry a spirit that vibrates on a higher frequency, your body and soul cannot move through every place without response. You have noticed it before, though you may not have always understood why. After only minutes in certain rooms, you feel as though your strength has drained away, leaving you heavy and weary. This is not the common tiredness that comes from work or effort. It is deeper. It settles into your bones and clouds your mind. It feels as if your very life force has been poured out, leaving you hollow. At times it comes with tension in your neck or shoulders, a sudden ache in your head, or a pressure upon your chest that no rest seems to ease. These are not random sensations. They are signals. They are the physical and energetic symptoms of living as light among shadows, of carrying clarity in the midst of confusion. I tell you plainly, this happens because you are not in harmony with the environments that surround you. Crowds are not neutral gatherings of bodies. They are seas of emotion, overlapping currents of thought, and silent battles unspoken, yet very real. Every individual carries an atmosphere, and when dozens or hundreds of these atmospheres collide, the air becomes charged with dissonance. Most people remain unaffected because their spirits are dulled, their senses numbed. But not you. You cannot help but absorb fragments of what surrounds you. The frustration of the stranger behind you presses into your chest. The grief of someone across the room sits heavy on your shoulders. The bitterness, masked by a smile, clings to you like smoke. You are not simply observing these realities. You are feeling them. And because of this, you grow weary in ways others cannot comprehend. This sensitivity does not mean you are weak. It means you are finely tuned, alive to what others ignore, able to detect the hidden currents moving through every space. But with this gift comes a cost. Your spirit resists what is false, and in that resistance, it bears the weight of dissonance. That is why, after time in certain places, you feel as though you have fought a battle you never volunteered for. Your body aches, your mind feels foggy, your energy seems stolen. This is not imagination. It is the price of carrying light into places that cannot contain it. Understand the design of this. I have given you heightened perception so that you might discern, so that you might know when to remain and when to leave, so that you might preserve the sanctity of what I placed within you. When you feel heaviness after only a short encounter, when your mind grows cloudy in an atmosphere that appears harmless, when you sense that invisible press upon your chest, pay attention. These are alarms, not inconveniences. They are warnings sent to protect you from contamination. Do not ignore them. Do not dismiss them. They are signs that the frequency of your spirit is colliding with an environment that does not align with your assignment. Because of this reality, you must be intentional with where you go, with whom you spend your time, and what environments you allow into your inner life. You cannot move aimlessly through every space and expect to remain unshaken. You cannot expose yourself endlessly to the noise of the crowd and expect to keep your clarity. I call you to walk with discernment, to choose carefully the places you enter, to guard the atmosphere of your heart. Do not dissolve into the crowd, for you are not meant to lose yourself in their noise. Move with purpose. Protect the sacred space within you. This will often mean stepping back, creating distance, and limiting exposure. It will mean choosing solitude when others choose gatherings. It will mean walking away when others are content to remain. And though it may feel like loss at first, it is in truth preservation. To guard your spirit is not selfishness, it is stewardship. To protect your energy is not withdrawal, it is wisdom. Every time you honor the signals of your spirit, you strengthen your armor. Every time you ignore them, you risk depletion that will cloud your clarity and weaken your resolve. There is a sacred reason why not every room welcomes your presence, and why not every environment can hold your spirit without cost. The light you carry disrupts darkness, even when you do not speak a word. The truth within you unsettles illusions, even when you remain silent. And so, atmospheres that thrive on fear, deceit, or despair will resist you. They will push against you, drain you, and seek to exhaust you. But this is not failure on your part. This is proof of the distinction upon you. Where you feel depleted, you have encountered a frequency unfit for your spirit. Yet I do not leave you without remedy. I give you solitude to restore what was drained. I call you into stillness so that I may cleanse the residue of other people's storms. In my presence, the weight that pressed against you is lifted. The fog in your mind is cleared, and the heaviness in your body dissolves. This is why you must not despise the pull to withdraw, the urge to step away, the desire for silence. These are not escapes. They are sanctuaries. They are my way of preserving you, of resetting your spirit, of keeping you aligned. Therefore, learn to honor the rhythm of exposure and retreat. Do not give yourself endlessly to every environment. Do not remain longer than your spirit permits. Listen to the alarms. When you feel the sudden heaviness, step back. When the tension rises in your body, take heed. When exhaustion falls upon you in a way rest cannot explain, recognize that you are carrying what is not yours. Release it. Return to me. Let my presence wash you clean. Do not measure your life by the standards of those who can sit in any atmosphere unaffected. Their lack of awareness is not strength. It is dullness. Your awareness is not weakness. It is refinement. You were not created to endure all environments. You were created to preserve clarity so that your mission may be fulfilled. So walk with courage, guard your spirit, and know that every time you choose alignment over acceptance, you honor the calling upon your life. I remind you, the purpose of these symptoms is not to torment you, but to train you. They teach you discernment. They guide you into wisdom. They force you to depend upon my voice rather than the clamor of others. They remind you that your body, mind, and spirit are holy instruments, not meant to absorb every current of the crowd, but to resonate with the harmony of heaven. So when you feel drained, do not despair. When the ache settles in your head or the pressure weighs on your chest, do not fear. See them as reminders that you are sensitive because you are chosen, and you are chosen because you are sensitive. The very things that exhaust you also protect you. They reveal to you what others cannot see, and they save you from roads you were never meant to travel. Beloved, guard the sanctuary within you. Do not allow the dissonance of the crowd to strip you of clarity. Move with intention. Choose with wisdom. Protect the sacred frequency I have given you. For when your spirit is clear, your discernment sharp, and your energy preserved, you will walk in the fullness of the mission I have ordained. And nothing in the noise of the crowd will ever drown the voice that speaks within you. Listen closely, my child. The distance you have felt, the separation that seemed unnatural, is not without meaning. I have drawn you into seasons where the noise of the world falls silent, where the paths you thought were secure dissolve beneath your feet, and where companionship becomes scarce. To you, it has felt like emptiness. To those around you, it has looked like loss. But in the language of heaven, this season is not abandonment. It is the desert. And the desert is not the place where you lose yourself. It is the place where you are found. The desert is a season I appoint for every chosen one, for it is the only environment strong enough to refine what I have placed within you. Its nights are cold with loneliness. Its days are long with waiting. The voices you once leaned on vanish. The distractions that once filled your mind disappear. Even the roads you believed would carry you forward turn to sand and slip through your grasp. Yet in this stark emptiness, the clutter that once clouded your vision begins to fade. You are left face to face with yourself, stripped of illusions, standing before the truth of who you are and who you were meant to become. Do not despise this season. The desert is not punishment. It is preparation. It is the sacred pause between who you have been and who you are about to be. In the silence of this place, I sharpen your discernment. I polish the armor of your soul. I strip away the unnecessary so that your spirit stands uncluttered and your hearing is clear. What feels like absence is presence in concentrated form. My presence, training you to recognize my voice above every other. Here you learn to listen in ways you never could amid the noise. Here your intuition deepens, your vision clears, and the gifts long buried within you begin to stir awake. In the desert, I confront the doubts that have lingered in your mind for years, not to destroy you, but to strengthen you. The questions that haunted you are brought into the open so they can be silenced once and for all. The fears that kept you hesitant are exposed so that you may overcome them. The desert strips you down not to leave you weak, but to reveal the strength I placed within you that you never knew was there. It is here, away from the distractions of the crowd, that you discover you were never as fragile as you feared. You are tested so that endurance may be forged in you, like steel tempered in fire. This season feels like emptiness to the untrained eye, but heaven calls it preparation. It is the training ground of the chosen. Every great mission requires a hidden season, a place where character is built, where obedience is tested, where roots grow deep enough to withstand the storms ahead. If I were to send you before this refining, the weight of your calling would crush you. But in the desert, I ensure your foundation is strong, your identity secure, your resolve unshakable. Consider the imagery. Steel is not formed without fire. Stone is not shaped without pressure. Vines are not fruitful without pruning. The desert is the furnace, the press, the pruning ground of your spirit. It cuts away what cannot remain. It burns off what would corrupt. It exposes what is unsteady so that it may be replaced with what is unshakable. Though the process is uncomfortable, it is essential. For the mission you carry is too precious, too heavy, too eternal to be entrusted to foundations that would crack under strain. In this season, your familiar supports are taken away. The voices that once guided you are silent. The people you leaned on fade from view. The roads you thought would carry you forward collapse into sand. This is not chaos. This is intentional. It is my way of drawing you into a place where the only voice you can rely on is mine. The desert removes every counterfeit so that you will know, without question, the sound of truth when I speak. And once you learn to hear me in the silence, you will never again mistake my voice in the noise. Do not mistake hiddenness for abandonment. When I lead you into the desert, I do not leave you there alone. Invisible hands guide you. Angels stand watch while you rest. Heaven studies your steps with care. Every moment is observed, every tear recorded, every cry heard. What feels like desolation is in truth a fortress, walls built to preserve the purity of your mission. Isolation is not exile. It is insulation, a shield against influences that would distort or drain you before you are ready. This hiddenness is love. If the wrong voices were allowed to shape you, they would bend you away from your calling. If the wrong hands were permitted to handle you, they would deplete you before you even began. So I hide you, not from your destiny, but for your destiny. I remove you from circles that would corrupt. I close doors that would entangle. I keep you from places that look harmless, but would corrode your spirit from within. What feels like loss is preservation. What looks like delay is acceleration in disguise. In this season, refinement becomes unavoidable. I use delays to teach you patience, losses to teach you detachment, closed doors to teach you trust, silence to sharpen your hearing. Every trial in the desert is a tool in my hand, crafting you with the precision of a master. I know what must remain and what must go. And though my tools are not always comfortable, they are always purposeful. As the process continues, the need for validation from others burns away. The desire to be seen, the hunger for constant affirmation, the insecurity rooted in human approval, all dissolve in the fire of refinement. Your vision is purified until distractions fall away. Your dependence is severed from the shifting opinions of people and anchored in the unchanging truth of my word. By the time you emerge, you are no longer swayed by every voice, no longer tempted by every glittering path. You move with discernment, recognizing that not everything that glitters is gold. Not every opportunity is yours. Not every road is meant for your feet. This transformation produces a strength you did not know you carried. You will feel stretched beyond your capacity, pressed harder than you thought you could endure. There will be moments when you wonder if you can take even one more step. But it is precisely in these moments that endurance is forged. Like gold purified in the furnace, you will come forth stronger, clearer, and resistant to pressures that once bent you. The battles that once shook you will no longer move you. The doubts that once haunted you will no longer control you. The fears that once limited you will no longer bind you. When the desert season is complete, there is a stillness in your soul. Not apathy, but peace. Not emptiness, but clarity. The noise that once clouded your mind will no longer distract you. The voices that once confused you will no longer sway you. You will walk with a quiet confidence, rooted in the certainty of who you are and who called you. From this place of strength, you receive the sacred clarity that guides every step. When to move, when to wait, when to speak, when to remain silent. This is why I remind you again. The desert is not where you lose. It is where you are found. It is not the evidence of rejection, but the seal of preparation. It is the sacred pause before the sending, the holy interval between the person you have been and the one you are about to become. When you leave the desert, you will not only know your mission, you will be ready to carry it, without fear, without confusion, without compromise. Beloved, embrace the desert. Welcome its silence. Trust its process, for in its cold nights and long days, I am shaping you. In its emptiness, I am filling you. In its hiddenness, I am protecting you. You are not forgotten here. You are being prepared. And when the time comes, you will emerge not as who you once were, but as who you were always meant to be, refined, unshakable and ready to walk fully in the destiny I have written for you. The world has often told you that when you find yourself alone, you have been abandoned. It whispers that when you are hidden, you are forgotten. It presses upon you the belief that distance means disfavor and silence means absence. But I tell you, this is not how heaven speaks. In my language, isolation is not rejection. It is protection. What the world names abandonment, I call preservation. What they label emptiness, I call a fortress. When I draw you away, I do not cast you off. I build walls around you so that the purity of your calling will not be tainted, and the mission I placed within you will not be stolen before its time. Isolation is not the absence of my presence. It is the concentration of it. It is the place where I remove the clutter so that you can hear me clearly. It is the sanctuary where I shield you from voices that would distort your purpose, from hands that would mishandle your destiny, from influences that would drain you before you even begin. What you thought was exile was in truth insulation. I hide you not to diminish you, but to preserve you, to guard the treasure I have planted within you until the season comes for it to be revealed. Think of isolation as the fortress of the chosen. It is the stronghold I build around those I have marked, not to keep them from life, but to prepare them for it. Within this fortress, my work goes deeper than the eyes of the world can see. While others assume nothing is happening, heaven is active. While people think you are stagnant, I am refining you. While they judge your silence as weakness, I am teaching you to hear. In isolation, I do not abandon. I draw closer. The obstacles that once stood between us are stripped away, and in that quiet space, you encounter me without interference. This hidden season has always been part of the journey of the chosen. It is the process by which I remove the voices that would confuse you, the distractions that would blind you, and the attachments that would keep you tethered to what cannot endure. It is where I strip you of the need for external validation, so that your confidence rests not in applause, but in the certainty of my voice. In this fortress of isolation, I remind you that you were never meant to live by the approval of men, but by the assurance of heaven. Do not measure isolation by the pain of its loneliness. Measure it by the strength it produces. Isolation is the crucible in which I forge endurance. It is the training ground where I sharpen discernment. It is the hidden workshop where I polish the gifts I have placed in you. Here, I test, refine, and strengthen. It is here that I use the tools of heaven, tools that do not always feel gentle, but are always filled with love. I use delays to teach you patience. What seems like wasted time is in truth the stretching of your capacity to endure. When doors close, you learn to trust that I am guiding you towards something better. When loss strips away what you thought you could not live without, you discover the freedom of detachment. When silence replaces noise, your ears become trained to recognize even the faintest whisper of my voice. These are not punishments. They are instruments. Each delay, each loss, each closed door, each moment of silence is a chisel in my hand, shaping you for the work ahead. The desert has already begun to strip you of distraction, but isolation carries the process further. It goes beyond silence into refinement. As gold must pass through fire to reveal its purity, so your soul must endure seasons of solitude to reveal its strength. As stone is pressed under weight to become something immovable, so your spirit must be pressed to build resilience. As a vine must be pruned to bear fruit, so you must be pruned to carry the abundance of the mission I have given you. Without pruning, the vine grows wild, wasting energy on branches that will never bear fruit. Without isolation, your life would scatter itself across distractions, pouring strength into places that could never yield purpose. This is why I draw you back. This is why I shield you in hiddenness. Not because I am finished with you, but because I am preparing you. Not because you are forgotten, but because you are too valuable to be exposed before the appointed time. The refining of isolation removes what cannot remain. It cuts away the unnecessary. It burns off the impurities. It strengthens the foundation until nothing unstable can remain. Though the process is painful, it is love that drives it. I refuse to let you step into destiny unprepared, for the mission you carry is too weighty to rest upon weak ground. In this hidden place, your vision is purified. Distractions lose their power. The noise of comparison is silenced. The hunger for validation dissolves. What remains is clarity, clear sight, steady focus, unwavering conviction. The fog that once clouded your decisions lifts, and you begin to move with precision. You no longer chase every opportunity. You no longer crave every invitation. You no longer bend under every voice. Instead, you discern, you weigh, you wait. You act with wisdom, because isolation has trained your spirit to recognize what is truly of me. The strength I build in isolation is unlike anything the world can produce. It is not strength that flaunts itself, but strength that endures storms without breaking. It is not boldness that shouts, but courage that does not retreat. It is not confidence rooted in applause, but authority rooted in intimacy with me. When the time comes to leave the fortress, you will not emerge uncertain or unsteady. You will emerge refined, focused, and unshakable. The world will wonder how you withstood what should have broken you. They will not see that isolation was never abandonment. It was my hand upon you, keeping you, shaping you, and strengthening you for this very moment. So when you find yourself hidden, do not curse it. Do not despise it. Do not rush to escape it. See it as evidence of my love. See it as proof of your calling. See it as the workshop where heaven labors on your behalf. While others may misinterpret your season, while they may judge your silence, while they may assume you have been cast aside, I remind you, you are not cast aside. You are set apart. You are not abandoned. You are being guarded. Isolation is the place where I draw closest. When no human stands beside you, the unseen realm surrounds you. Angels guard your steps. My spirit whispers counsel. My presence fills the silence. What looks like absence is in truth saturation. What feels like delay is acceleration in disguise. For in this hiddenness, you are not only preserved, you are propelled. Every moment of solitude saves you from detours that would have stolen years from your calling. Every quiet hour spares you from the drain of voices that would have slowed your steps. Every wall I build around you allows your roots to grow deep, anchoring you in ways that storms can never uproot. This refinement, though uncomfortable, is my act of love. It is the proof that I will not send you unprepared. It is the assurance that when the time comes to bear the full weight of your mission, you will not crumble. You will carry not only the title of the chosen, but the authority and resilience required to fulfill it. That is why I call you to embrace the hidden season, to welcome the silence, to trust the process. For isolation is not exile. It is fortress. It is training. It is love in its most intentional form. And when this season has finished its work, you will know the difference. You will walk with peace where anxiety once ruled. You will stand with strength where fear once controlled. You will discern with clarity where confusion once clouded. You will move with quiet authority, not needing to announce yourself, because the fruit of refinement will announce you. And when you step into the mission I have prepared, you will recognize that isolation was not wasted time. It was the most essential time. Beloved, do not see isolation as being cut off. See it as being carved out. You are being carved into the vessel I designed, refined into the instrument I intended, prepared for the assignment I appointed. Others may not understand. The world may misinterpret. But heaven knows, and heaven celebrates. For every moment you spend in hiddenness is a declaration that you are mine, that you are marked, that you are being made ready for the destiny that awaits. Beloved, when refinement completes its course, there arises a stillness in the soul that is not emptiness, but a settled peace. The battles that once shook you will no longer move you. The storms that once confused your mind will no longer make you stray. This inner quiet is a mark of arrival, a sign that the refining fire has clarified what was muddled and set your understanding on a firmer foundation. Where uncertainty once drove your choices, there will now be a governed calm that steadies your heart, steadies your hands, and steadies your steps. Out of that calm comes what I call holy clarity, a wisdom that orders speech, decision, and movement. Your words will carry weight because they are rooted in hearing. Your choices will be guided by discernment rather than impulse. Your movements will be governed by timing rather than haste. This clarity is not mere cleverness or natural prudence. It is the Spirit teaching you to distinguish what is of me from what is of the crowd. In its presence, you will know when to advance and when to wait, when to speak and when to hold silence, and these promptings will bear the authority of heaven. Do not presume that this clarity is given for comfort. It is given for stewardship. It does not remove responsibility. It focuses it. The seals upon you, the letter and the crescent, remain as reminders that your life is assigned, not entitled. The M speaks of mastery formed through discipline, mission cultivated through faithfulness, and the mantle that rests upon shoulders trained to carry it. The crescent reminds you of cycles, of sacred seasons of waiting and appointed moments of release. Together, these marks call you to steward time, to honor rhythm, and to trust the pace of my purposes. This stillness trains you to hear me with sharpened fidelity. In the hush of your heart, my instructions will arrive as settled persuasion. Move now, wait here, speak this truth, keep this silence. Often these promptings will not be dramatic, but unmistakable, a quiet knowing that requires no defense. When the urge to justify or explain rises, return to that inner place of holy quiet and test your motives by the clarity I have given. There is discipline in silence and authority in restraint, and both will keep you from being driven by every passing voice. As you live under this clarity, your daily steps will become declarations of purpose. Each deliberate choice will confess, I am on assignment. When you enter a room, let your presence be intentional. When you speak, let your words be few and full. When you wait, let your waiting be an act of trust. These habits turn inner clarity into outward influence. The world will sense the difference not because you shout, but because steadiness itself alters atmosphere and steadies others in ways speech cannot. Understand plainly that being chosen is not a promise of ease, but a commission of influence. The calling you bear will stretch you and require sacrifice. Yet it will shape seasons and stabilize generations. The marks upon you are not ornaments to be admired, but warrants that authorize stewardship. Your quiet is not retreat into irrelevance, but formation for engagement in arenas where your clarity will cut through confusion and provide steadiness where many are swayed. This season also strips away the need for external validation. Where once your decisions bowed beneath applause, your confidence will now be anchored in my voice. The hunger for public affirmation will diminish as the hunger for alignment grows. No longer will you measure your worth by tides of opinion. Rather, you will calibrate your life to the quiet commendation of the Spirit. This is a hard freedom because it resists instant praise in favor of faithful waiting. But it is the freedom that preserves mission and enables endurance. Let compassion accompany your discernment. Clarity without tenderness hardens into judgment, and authority without humility devolves into tyranny. Let the truth you carry be wrapped in mercy. Let firm decisions be delivered with patience for those who are slower to understand. When you correct, correct gently. When you lead, lead by serving. Influence devoid of tenderness will produce resistance, whereas wisdom clothed in compassion draws people nearer and softens the heart to reform. The clarity I grant will refine your priorities. Where you once chased many good things, you will now choose the right things. Open doors will be weighed rather than pursued for appearance. Relationships will be entered with sober judgment rather than sentimental haste. Commitments will be undertaken with full recognition of their cost. This is not a life of scarcity, but a life of sacred economy, where the allocation of your attention, time, and energy is designed to yield enduring fruit. In this economy of attention, your energy becomes an offering. You will invest in what endures. Where distraction once led to exhaustion, discipline will now preserve your strength. The clarity within you will help steward your heart's resources so they are not scattered by every urgent pull. The result is not a diminished life, but a focused one. And your influence will deepen because your presence will be concentrated where it matters most. Be assured, beloved, heaven has recognized you. The marks upon you are seals of recognition, and the refinement you have endured is the proof of readiness. Rise with steady feet and a clear mind. Speak when summoned by truth. Move when the Spirit instructs. Remain silent when discretion is required. Walk as one who knows that being chosen demands endurance and grants authority. That selection by heaven prepares for service rather than exempting from suffering. Go forward with the quiet confidence that holy clarity produces. Let each step declare your assignment and each choice reflect the purity of your mission. Remember that being chosen is not for comfort, but for influence. Move with humility, speak with compassion, and act with intentionality. The world will push back and the path will exact. But trust that the sacred clarity now in you will hold fast. Be faithful to what you have been given, for in faithfulness, the work entrusted to you will be fulfilled. In the days ahead, when opposition rises and the crowd presses in, remember that the quiet within you is not absence but source. Return often to the sanctuary of stillness where your resolve is replenished and your sight is renewed. For in that inner hush, I speak with clarity. Let prayer gird your choices and humility temper your steps, allowing kindness to be the language of your authority. Stand firm when distraction assails you and when false applause seeks to ensnare you. Hold fast to the discipline learned in silence and remain generous in service. Steadfast in truth and committed to the work entrusted so that your life always reveals the purposes of heaven. Beloved one, I see your patience, your endurance, your willingness to remain through the whole of this message. That is not a small thing. It is the sign of a heart that is hungry for truth, a spirit that is ready to receive the next word I will speak. I honor your perseverance, for it reveals that you are not casual in listening, but intentional. And those who listen with intent will always be guided into greater revelation. Now, I invite you to respond. Do not let this word remain only in your hearing. Seal it with your action. If it has stirred something deep within you, testify. Leave a comment of your witness, request prayer if you are in need, or simply type the words, "I receive this word." In doing so, you declare alignment not only with heaven, but with the community that walks beside you. Share this message with those who are fainting in their battles, family members searching for a voice of hope, friends struggling in wars they do not understand. Let this word become the light that steadies them. And I call you also to remain connected. Subscribe and keep the bell of remembrance ringing, for heaven is not done speaking. My voice is ongoing, my guidance is unending, and each word builds upon the last. Until the next message comes, hold fast to this instruction. Stay silent when I bid you silent. Remain faithful when the wait feels long, and trust that I am moving even when your eyes cannot see it. Be still, be steadfast, and watch as I act on your behalf. For my hand has never left you, and the story I am writing through you is far from finished.